Huh.
You guys fired up about this?
No.
I just woke up.
Has anybody seen fires burning in their cities?
Not yet. I haven't taken a step outside my house, though. I can't believe Jester's not fired up about this.
Oh, he's
Nothing. Hey, it's been a stressful day slightly. Nothing has gone right today. It seems like everything has been problematic and has caused some sort of an issue.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
And why am I getting buzzing ass feedback?
I don't know. Why are you getting buzzing ass feedback?
Oh, I don't like his attitude.
Yeah, oh, I know why you're getting it. Because I was playing guitar. I was playing slightly.
No, it was. I think it was my cell phone signal interfering with the wires. And no, you know what? Slightly, I don't like my attitude either.
Fine. We're gonna put you in the corner. Sure.
Yeah, put him
You
in
know
the-
what? I'll go to the corner. I will gladly go hang out in the corner.
Oh,
I'm gonna put you in the fart bag. No, you don't.
I can't even get Doom Daily to upload.
wow.
Your internet.
Like everything has gone to shit today.
Yeah, your internet sucks. That's all that is. That's it. Redneck Rambler, welcome in. BP, good eats. Glad to have you from the Keystone State. Your fucking state. I don't know. I don't know what to say. You need to move, BP. You need a better state. Just saying.
Where's he at?
He's in the Keystone State.
Oh, well, he could be in a worse state.
Well, he could be. He could be in Michigan.
He could be in Maryland.
He could be in Maryland.
He could be in New York.
Well, he's so close to New York, he can fucking smell the shit wafting over.
I'm sure.
Certain parts of Pennsylvania are not horrible. For the most part, it sucks balls.
You know-
Thank you for that.
Upstate New York, Rochester, Buffalo, all around in there, I found some pretty good places.
Is that an IV bag?
Yes.
It's got his liquid Quaalude in it.
I think that's what we all need right about now is an IV bag.
Somebody get it. Yeah. Podfather, welcome in.
We can put all kinds of good shit in there.
I got wine in mine.
For your attitude tonight, is that what we're looking at?
Yeah, it better work too, or I'm ready to break shit today.
Oh man.
Oh, yeah, me too. I think there's a lot of people out there that are ready to break some shit.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
I'm thinking like we should all go peaceful protesting.
Yes. Yes, we should have a summer of love, conservative style.
Oh yeah, we'll show them what real peaceful protesting is.
Yeah, BP is hanging around Steeltown, so that's not really bad. That's actually further away from the BS.
Okay. What's going on, BP? Is he at work? He's always working.
He is. Well, he works.
It's kind of like playing.
He's the boss, man.
He is.
Oh, he is.
He owns the company.
He does.
Yep. He tells everybody else what to do. Y'all getting ready for this? Are y'all feeling good?
I don't know if good's the word. Is good the word?
You know what looks good right now?
What looks good right now?
My
What?
freaking wife.
Ooh. Oh.
She really does.
Hello, Miss Dixie.
Oh my God!
No, she can't hear you.
You're thinning on top.
Me? Yeah, I am.
Hey, he's going
That's
bald.
all right. At least you have it. At least you still have some hair. At least it's not all fucking gray like mine.
It is thinning out. Then I'm pretty pissed off about it.
That's all right.
That's something else for you to
there's
be
all kinds of
pissed
things
at.
for that. Oh my God! Tonight's gonna be an interesting conversation with passengers. So I'm throwing it in their face every single fucking one of them.
Oh, hell yeah. I got to tell you, I'm thoroughly put out with Twitter.
Why?
Well, because most of the fuckers that are out there making statements about how terrible people are in our country are fucking, they don't live in this country.
Yeah, that's true.
It's mostly a bunch of Canadians. Oh, great. Trump he's going to get locked up. He's the worst person in the world. But look what we've got.
You know what the funny thing is, though? You go to Fascist Book, you don't see a damn thing about what happened today.
No, I did.
There's some serious censors.
Oh, hey. Yeah. Don't be
I
squeezing
told
that.
you she's got her slut shirt on too.
Oh.
Come show them your shirt.
Can you take it off and show us, please?
Wait a minute. Slightly. Are you batting for the other team again? What?
I'm just being a good wingman. That's
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So she's got this shirt. It says "slut" on it, and there's a comma in the center, and it's for Salt Lake City, Utah.
Oh,
Nice.
awesome.
Yeah.
We need a cameo for that.
Oh, I lost a Facebook friend today.
Oh, poor you.
I know. They made a comment on my upside down United States flag. They said, "Sorry, my old friend. I think it's time to block you."
Whatever. Oh my God.
You know, here's the thing about. I don't know how we're tearing into this tonight, so I don't know if I should even go there yet.
Would you just hold on? We got about 3 minutes. Just let everybody come in, get seated, get something to drink, get the popcorn up, because I got a feeling this is going to be a wild show. Podfather, I missed it. I will invite you up here a little bit, brother.
Slightly, you're missing the silicone out of your fleshlight there, bud.
If you guys could see what we're looking at.
Unbelievable. Yeah, I need more.
Oh my God.
I don't even have time.
Icy wiener.
I see a wiener, yeah. Well, it is hot out here.
I don't know what to even say about this.
You just got to ice your balls. That's all. Ice your balls a little bit.
Gotta ice them down once in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, Podfather, about that, brother. About that. Dude, I'm winging it. I hope you guys understand. I'm just winging the fuck out of it.
I think we're all winging it today.
I think because the notes, the racism in the WNBA, that just went right out the window.
Yeah, they can be racist for another week.
There you go. Well, screw this. Let's just let's get this rocking and rolling. You ready, boys and girls?
Oh, sure.
Which one of us is the girl?
I'll let you guys decide that. Here we go.
You can take turns.
That works.
Shh.
You're listening to the Beans and Weenie Show is doomed. And now, here are those fluffy muff lovers, Spanky, Jester, Slightly Serious, and Scooter.
Wow, what a day there, Scooter. How you doing? Talk about the slightly. It's not even slightly doom show. It's a doom show.
It's not even slightly. We have gone to doomed. I don't know. The opening that I wrote for this fucking show, it's out the window. Because who gives a fuck? The world is, they are laughing at us, and yet our country is in flames right now. I don't know how else to characterize it. And that's right. We are without Spanky. Spanky has got his own flames that he's having to deal with. Maybe he'll call in later and let us know how that's going. That should be pretty interesting. But welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Beans and Weenie Show presents Slightly Doomed. It's completely fucking doomed. We are beyond repair at this moment. I don't know if you've heard the news. We're going to talk about it tonight. But I am joined by the lovely and talented Slightly Serious. James, how are you doing this evening?
Oh my God, I'm just waking up. Thank you. I'm still digesting all this news, and I cannot. I thought weeks ago I told you, hey, we have a couple attorneys that are on this jury.
Yeah,
maybe there's a little common sense. And I'm still lost. What's the fucking crime? What are they? I mean, we'll get into a lot more. But yeah, I'm just happy to be here. I'm just happy to have waken up to another I don't know if I can say wonderful day in this country, but
Damn glad to have you, Slightly. And just below Slightly and to the left, ladies and gentlemen, we are being, you know what? We have the sunshine of our lives here with us tonight. The lovely and talented Jester Dooms. Welcome to the show, brother.
Jesus, you oversold it so much you fucked my name up.
No, I was going for Mischief because she was kind of wandering around in the background. I'd rather
She was.
Yeah,
She was.
I was hoping she was going to come back
she-
and do it.
She went away.
now I have
That's what she does.
be careful what I say because she's probably listening now.
Oh, she probably is. Oh, she'll end up popping into the show and she'll talk some shit, I'm sure.
Talking to smack. So how are you doing? What's going on? You are not a happy camper today.
Well, first and foremost, I couldn't get the Doom Daily show to upload. So that's got me pissed off because I don't know if there's going to be a show tomorrow now or not. Okay. And it's been like little hiccups throughout the day today. All day. And then this news of what we're going to be talking about tonight has me kind of floored.
Floored, is that it? Is it you're just a little chagrined? Are you taking them back?
You know, one of my coworkers today, and I'll end up talking about this on Doom Daily as well. But he put something out there it was very like in harmony, kind of how he said it, right? And what he said was, you do realize we have third world problems in this country now. You didn't see these things years ago. Referring to actions that our society is doing and taking that we're having to deal with as, you know, first responders, what we're seeing, he's like, this was shit that was only taking place in third world countries. And now it's here. And now this happening within our government is just really solidifying this idea that things are not falling apart. They have fallen apart. And we are now within the aftermath.
I don't think we've reached the aftermath yet. I think there's a little bit more decline that is going to take place.
Scooter, let me pull your thought. Come here, give me an ear for a second.
To me.
Listen,
talk to me.
Around in my town where I live, Scooter.
Yeah,
we got people walking down the street. We got people walking down the street, stabbing themselves and cutting themselves up with machetes and chopping each other up. These are third world country problems, Scooter.
That is true.
We're getting to be in that we are a third world country, Jester.
Hold on, I need more fluid.
Oh my
Pretty soon,
God!
Jester's gonna be selling the bags to everyone in this country.
It's urine. It's a mixture of urine, bear sweat, and what else is in there? Is that raccoon piss?
A coyote piss. Raccoon
piss.
Semen. Raccoon semen.
Raccoon semen.
It makes it a little frothy. You see the bubbles on top?
It's a little thick going down. Is that what you're saying? Raccoon semen. So,
okay, just to simplify what this guy was saying, just to summarize it up, because I'm going to get into a whole good 10-minute spiel on the show on Monday. So basically, he's like, Dooms, you got to look at what's taking place right now. Okay. From the Miami zombie up until now, our society has been in this third world country decline. We've got people eating each other, chopping their heads off. We got homeless people chopping each other's heads off. I mean, it is third world country shit. And now it's to the point where only the elites are comfortable, and the average American can't afford gas, can't afford groceries, is working 2 jobs, is incurring so much credit card debt. Interest rates are so through the roof that people don't even want to take out loans anymore, or they can't get loans. And if they can, the interest is so insane, they don't want the payments.
Or they take out the loan and they don't make the payments. Yeah,
that's it.
Right, and then you end up with your head chopped off under a bridge somewhere.
No. You just wait till Biden forgives it.
No, we're not a part of the 1% elite class that go to Ivy League schools. So,
that's true. Yeah,
not gonna forgive any of our debts, dude. I mean, you are speaking about things that are happening all over the country, because James and I talked about a homeless guy who ate the face off of somebody after he tried to kill him in Las Vegas.
The ear and the eyeball.
Yeah,
on the strip, but waiting for a bus.
Yep, just fucking zombied out. Decided he was hungry, have a little snack. This little Puerto Rican guy looks good. I'm gonna chomp on him.
So listen, I don't want to put my job in jeopardy or anything.
Okay,
right?
don't.
So, but I will say this.
Yes.
the kind of calls, the kind of 911 calls that are coming into the comm center, you would think the apocalypse is already here.
Really?
Yes. I mean, it is bad. I mean, it is to the point where I'm like scared to take my kids certain places. Like I am paranoid as shit now just walking through Walmart.
Well,
I wonder if today's verdict is going to increase that by any.
I think it will. We lost
think
the good.
Oh, he's there. He's there.
Yeah, okay, he was frozen for a minute. It looked very pensive. But
Hmm.
anyway, I think the verdict today is going to bring out like the 22 million people that are alive that actually voted for Biden. They're going to be celebrating. It's going to be open season. It's like, you know what? Fuck it. We're just going to go crazy because now we can do that. We have license to go crazy.
Well, and I've heard that these liberals are out celebrating the verdict. I haven't watched any news media, anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But the word is that they're out on the streets celebrating this.
Well, it is. I mean, okay, so we'll jump right into it. So in MSNBC, the Democrat propaganda wing, boom, here we go. Trump guilty on all counts, all 34 counts.
What are all 34 counts? I mean, we don't have time to go through them all, but they haven't even listed them.
Okay, well, number one, the most egregious account is that Trump paid off Stormy Daniels to keep her quiet so she wouldn't talk about their affair, in quotation marks, that possibly happened, and that he used campaign money with which to do it.
Okay, and they absolutely 0% proved that he did that.
Well, here it goes even a step further because the people who actually oversee federal elections and finances and things like that, the FEC, the Federal Election Commission, investigated this and they said, no, he did nothing wrong. So the federal government said, we looked at it, there were no problems.
Well, there's so many issues that happened in this case.
Mm-hmm.
The latest thing that I was astonished to believe.
Yep.
So the jury instructions by Judge Merchant basically were saying that they don't all have to unanimously agree that he's guilty on one charge. As long as there's at least a guilty plea on every single one of them, then he's found guilty. How is that fair?
Well, that's exactly it. Oh, hang on. Look at that. Problems already. That's an interesting thing because you know what? 4 people could say he's guilty. 4 people could say he's not guilty. And then the last 4 could say, we don't know. And he would be guilty of the charge.
Right. That's bullshit.
Those were the instructions that we're giving.
That's not how we handle court cases in our country.
Well, this isn't in our country, dude. This is in New York.
That's true.
I mean, state New York case. I mean, things don't work the same way there as they do everywhere else. It's New York is just fucked up.
Well, but the problem is the New York judicial prudence is seeping its way across the nation. It's already in Austin, Texas, and Texas is not a blue state.
I didn't think it was.
No, Texas is highly conservative, but Houston and Austin have turned. They have gotten some folks elected in the city council and as a district attorney that are liberal as all get out. As a matter of fact, they convicted a man, first-degree murder, who was actually trying to protect himself.
So okay.
Okay.
This is something that we've been seeing for years now, is they're trying to take, okay, so it's a very, very simple play here. If you know that self-defense is off the table, why do you need to own a firearm? If you know that there's multiple convictions and they have plenty of court cases that say, oh yeah, self-defense, we're not playing that game anymore, that's not on the table anymore, why do you need a gun?
Because you're still going to defend your family and your property.
Right. But if you know it's going to put you in prison, it's a great argument to take these things away. Oh, we don't do self-defense anymore. That's too, we don't do that anymore. So you guys don't really need to have the Second Amendment anymore.
That's exactly it. Well, that's what Hawaii said.
Look at Canada.
Exactly. Look at Canada. That is exactly what the state of Hawaii said. The state of Hawaii said, you know what? There's no need for any self-defense. We will not honor the Second Amendment of the United States Constitution.
Yep.
They actually said that. Hang on there, Podfather. I'll get to you. Give me just a second here.
So, Jester, are you surprised by this verdict?
No, I'm not. In fact, they need to keep the TV ratings up, and this is their tool currently to do it. So I kind of knew. Well, I mean, I had an inkling that this was coming, but I honestly thought they were just going to keep it going for the TV ratings.
Now, candidly, Jester, you and I had a wonderful conversation about what your thoughts were, because you think this is about TV ratings. You think this is a show. I'm sorry, are we disturbing you there, Jester? What the fuck?
No, I'm good.
He's like
Continue.
He's like a hamster. He's got to chew on shit. Okay, so you think this is all just for show?
Right, it absolutely is. I mean, think about the way it's keeping ratings up right now. Think about everybody that's getting on the Google machine and how much ad revenue is being generated right now, so somebody could watch a news article on YouTube.
Oh, okay. I can see
that. I'm sure the jurors over the Memorial Day weekend were fucking online looking things up as well. Why wasn't the jury sequestered over the Memorial Day weekend?
Because they're stupid.
Okay, go back. Remember the OJ trial. Remember how popular that case was, and they had to reach out to find jurors who didn't know anything about this, what was going on. They weren't allowed to have magazines that talked about this. They weren't allowed to have papers that talked about this. They weren't allowed to be interviewed by the press. In fact, they kind of confined them to hotels while the trial was going on, said, you're not allowed to turn it. You're take the TVs out of these rooms. They're not allowed to watch the news.
Yeah. But here we have
did they do
former president and they don't fucking enforce any of that?
Right. And this is a former football player and shitty actor.
Right.
Well, but the president, no. That's okay. We'll let these jurors do whatever. Come the fuck on.
Exactly.
This entire shenanigan of a guilty verdict has got to be overturned by the Supreme Court or by the appellate courts.
Well, exactly. But the thing is, nobody is going to give airtime to it being overturned. It's going to be.
Yeah, well, their main thing is that just being able to call him a convicted felon.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So let's break that down for a second. This is the lowest felony that you could commit. Okay.
Okay.
And this does not keep him from becoming commander in chief. He could still become president.
Correct, but it is going to potentially limit him being able to go out and campaign. Although, like I said, I don't think he needs to even worry about campaigning. I think he can go the Joe Biden route at this point, especially after this verdict. Hands down, this guilty verdict, in my opinion, has cemented him winning the presidency.
Well, okay, so what these idiots do not realize is, unless this is part of their plan, because I always think there's a bigger play here at point, you do realize he's going to go down in history as the most talked about president ever, the most popular president.
Yeah.
He's going to have a seat at the table at this point with George Washington and Abraham Lincoln.
100%.
Yep.
I mean, and they did that.
Yeah,
Trump, he would have been a blip on the radar if this shit didn't happen. We would have, a couple years down the road, we would have mentioned him like we mentioned Nixon.
Yeah.
Yeah, just on the History Channel or the Discovery Channel. Oh, yeah, by the way. And actually, Richard Milhouse Nixon was a good president. So, fight me over that one. I said it. I was there, and he was a good president. But just out of fun, here's the deal. Let's just go over the 34 counts. And now, funny thing is, these things are all basically misdemeanors. So you know what happens when you get convicted of a misdemeanor?
You get a slap on the wrist.
Yeah, you get a fine.
some misdemeanors can come with jail time.
11 months, 29 days. But they have been able to twice now in the state of New York, twice now, they have subverted the laws to elevate charges against Donald Trump to be felonies. This is the one time. E. Jean Carroll was the second time. They tried him for civil liability for raping E. Jean Carroll. The statute of limitations had run out to begin with, so shouldn't have been able to go to court over that. And they decided, no, we're going to let this go. We're going to change the law, backdate it, and let him be sued. But
how many of these misdemeanors, though, have already passed the time that he could be prosecuted for them? Quite a few of them, right?
Well, there were quite a few. But here's the deal. If I remember correctly, the district attorney, Alvin Jack Me Off Bragg, he said that this all occurred to subvert the 2016 election in order to get President Trump elected. That's the bottom line. All of these things happened with these falsifying of the records. It was to get Trump elected. But here's the problem that you run into when he stated that. All of these counts are dated after 2016. Election had already been taken place.
So, okay. I have some questions. Maybe you can enlighten me on this.
I'll do my best.
Okay. So Trump's given Stormy Daniels the business.
Yeah. I need to get
her real last name is Clifford.
Okay.
For those that didn't know.
So you know her pretty well?
Yeah, I mean she's right down there on the corner, dude. She isn't hard to come by.
Come by. Okay. Anyway,
so she's out there running her mouth about this alleged affair. Okay. Trump's people say, hey, listen, you need to shut the fuck up. What's it going to take for you to do that? She says X amount of dollars. They say, okay, let's see. We'll figure that out. So they move some money around. They get it to her. She shuts up.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't see the problem in that. Do you know in civil cases, in also in criminal cases, how often an attorney will go to a victim when it's someone who's wealthy and say, hey, how much is it going to take to make this go away?
Right.
And that's totally legal. You could so say that I'm bullying and harassing Scooter.
Uh-huh.
And I kick Scooter's ass. And Scooter wants to press assault charges. And me and Scooter are sitting in the courtroom and we're having we're going through the hearing, and my attorney can pull Scooter aside and say, hey, Scooter, listen. Doom's sorry he's been picking on you. He's sorry he kicked your ass. How much money would it take for you to just drop these charges so we can all just move on with our lives? And Scooter could say, fuck that, I'm not doing that. Or Scooter could say, you know what, I'll take 10 grand. Scooter would sign some paperwork, agree to not seek charges in the future. It would be on a legal binding document, and that is 100% legal within the U.S. You can do that.
Correct.
Yes. Okay, so how is this situation any different? Is it because, and this is what my question is it because of where the money came from, how the money got to her? Because she agreed, yeah, I'll shut up, give me the money. So where is the crime? Where is it?
So they're trying to say that it came from his campaign funds, right?
Right.
Is that correct, Scoot?
Correct.
Right. And here's the whole deal about that, though. I don't think Trump was paying her off. I think Mr. Cohen is trying to get a nice position in the White House, and he's taking it upon himself. So he's going to go pay Stormy off himself, and then he's going to come back to Trump and say, hey, look what I just did. I took care of it for you.
Exactly.
That's what really went down. I mean, because Trump he's not monitoring the hundreds of thousands of dollars going in and out of his bank account.
Okay. So let's just jump back to it real quick. So here we go. Here's the thing. Count one. Michael Cohen's invoice dated February 14th of 2017. Okay, so that was after the election. That was after Trump took office. And that was made out to the Donald J. Trump Revocable Trust. That wasn't made out to the campaign of Donald J. Trump. That wasn't made elect Donald J. Trump president organization. That was to his business entity. Now, the other thing that you have to, and Jester, that was a fantastic allegory as to why this is not a crime, settling out of court. But here's the real thing. Everybody's heard of NDAs, non-disclosure agreements. Is that correct? Jester, do you know what those are? Slightly.
I know what those are.
Okay. Slightly.
Sorry, I was looking at naked pictures of Stormy Daniels, and I'm not into it.
No, she's a little, no.
She's a little washed up, dude. I mean, you know.
She was even washed up back then. But here's the thing. So
it's like Arby's.
No, it's not even that good. Don't disparage Arby's with Stormy Daniels, please.
She's got the horsey sauce, dude. It's a bit sour down there.
It's real sour. But here's the thing. Even if Donald Trump went to Stormy and said, hey, look, I'm going to give you $120,000. I want you to sign this document saying that you will never speak of any of our time together.
Right.
That's legal.
That's 100%.
Okay. Now, right. Okay. So, second part to my question here. Wouldn't Stormy Daniels then be in violation of contract, and shouldn't there be a case against her now?
Okay.
Shouldn't Trump have legal grounds to a civil suit against Stormy Daniels for violation of said agreement?
Trump has already won a civil litigation suit in the state of New York against Stormy Daniels. As a matter of fact, when Michael Avenatti was representing Stormy Daniels, she lost the suit against him. She was ordered by the state of New York to pay Trump's legal fees, and I think a generous amount of $80,000 on top of that. It's already been tried. It's already been litigated. She lost.
So this is essentially to reference the OJ case again, how OJ was not found guilty in a criminal court, but was found liable in a civil court.
Correct.
Yes. The plot fucking thickens.
Well, and that's the E. Jean Carroll story too. But E. Jean Carroll, she didn't have a date, she didn't have a time, she didn't have any other information whatsoever.
Yeah, she was also hanging out with Doc Brown and went and got a dress from the future. I mean, there's a whole laundry list of things that were wrong with that. I mean, that she's nuts.
That she is. I give you that one.
That goddamn bitch, she nuttier than squirrel turds. That's what the locals would say around here.
And they've done some great stories with E. Jean Carroll out at her cabin that's painted blue and the shit that she hangs in the trees. She's a freaky person to begin with. But going back to all of this, if he did say pay her off, there's nothing wrong with that. That is not a crime.
That's legal.
That is legal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Now, okay, so where the funding came from, like, okay, I don't fucking care where the money came from. Say it did come from the campaign funding. Say it did. Okay, in my mind, I could translate that into a campaign expense. Hey, we got someone fucking up the campaign, pay them off. Okay, this could be also translated to, or I guess a kind of an analogy could be sort of similar to, hey, we want to utilize this public space, but this is where the Boy Scouts of America sell their cookies at. So buy all their fucking cookies so they go away. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Like that's, to me, it would be the same thing. And is anybody going to be mad at Trump if he bought all the fucking Girl Scout cookies? Would he be mad if he bought all the Samoas and Thin Mints to get these kids to move away and go somewhere else? No.
Well, no, they would be, because they'd just be mad at him because he's Trump.
Right. The media would spin it in some way. He's kicking the Girl Scouts off street corners. They would never say that he paid 4 times the amount per box, bought all the cookies, and then gave them to the homeless.
Right. Exactly.
They wouldn't say that.
He's being mean to the Girl Scouts and kicking them off the street.
Exactly.
Right. That's exactly what he would say. But I mean, in my eyes, there would not be a crime committed there. This is a campaign expense. Okay. We pay them off so they move on down the line. We buy all their products so they have nothing to sell. We'll see you later.
Boom.
Okay, same thing. We buy your story from you, so you can't sell it, so you can't run your mouth, and that's it. And I mean, frankly, if I was in Trump's shoes and I was in the Stormy Daniels thing, I'd be like, yeah, fucking yeah, it happened. So what? And then that would have just been the end of it. I wouldn't have paid her off. I would have been like, yeah, we got a fucking president that bangs fucking porn stars. America. Fuck yeah. That's where I would be at.
Instead of banging the interns, I mean, hell, that would be a lot better because they're not working in the government.
Or the president banging his daughter.
Okay, so at this point, we're a step above Clinton now. I mean, this isn't Monica's nasty ass. This is like a real deal porn star. Right. He's stepping up his game.
Right.
So, take it, own it, fuck it. Who cares?
Well, but he says he didn't do it. I kind of tend to believe him. But let's take a walk back in time. Don't know if you guys know about this, but here's the deal. In the United States Congress, the Senate and the House of Representatives have a slush fund where they allocate money from tax dollars. They put it in this fund, and it's to pay off sexual harassment suits, sexual assault charges, to shut people up and have them sign an NDA.
Okay, so all right.
Yes.
To an extent, I don't see an issue with that. And there's only one reason why I don't see an issue with that.
Okay.
People make up false claims all the time.
Sure.
Okay, just they don't like somebody, let me say something happened. Right. And you don't, for those kind of crimes, you really don't need any evidence. You could just run your mouth and then boom, shit sticks. So I could fully understand setting aside a liability fund for these type of things.
But if you're okay with setting aside funds for that, you should be okay with Trump paying off himself.
Okay, so I
am okay with it.
Yeah, I'm okay with it too, but here's the deal.
I'm okay with it.
Those are tax dollars that those congressmen are taking advantage of. They're picking our pockets to pay off for their little dalliances and their deviant behavior. And I just real quick from the comments, I just want to bring to the attention of everybody. Miss Dixie brought up a great point because Miss Dixie said that Stormy said it never happened. She actually signed 2 pieces of paper saying that it never happened. That none of what has been alleged, and none of what she got on. She was a witness in this trial. She had nothing to provide as evidence about the payments, about anything that Trump was charged with, but she told a wonderful story about sexual positions and what Trump liked to do and all of that good stuff. So it was rigged from the beginning. I don't know how.
I wonder what position Trump prefers. I
think with her it was doggy. I mean, don't even look at her, put a pillowcase over her head kind of thing. I'm just thinking out of the box here.
I could imagine him explaining it too. I wish I could do a good Trump voice, but could you imagine? I'd like to put her on all fours so I could set my coffee cup in my briefcase on her back.
And I got my phone.
I need to sound like Judge Joe Brown for just a moment because I think all Stormy Daniels was looking for with Donald Trump was a booty call.
Sure.
Whoa.
Sure, booty call. But I can see Trump up there. I'm getting Stormy, and I'm going to do some mean tweets here. Chuck Schumer, take that. Yeah, here it is. But
I want to see if I could send this tweet and shoot a load on your back at the same time. Don't move.
It's a backshot tweet. There we go. It's huge. It's huge. Don't worry about it, Stormy. It's huge. You're going to love it. It's all going to be perfect. But here's the deal. I mean, Congress is taking our money, and they're paying off all of the things that are going on. But going back to what Miss Dixie said, that Stormy never said it never happened. Here's the deal. Bill Maher, on his show, he interviewed Stormy. And he played clips and excerpts from it where she said, no, nothing. I was never attacked by Donald Trump and nothing. And he came out and he was kind of beside himself as to why this was going on with Trump. So,
well, this entire court case, if the person's name is not Trump and is not running for the presidency, would never been brought to trial by any DA.
Well, we've reluctantly have a special prosecutor that is actually going to try Hunter Biden for the perjury that he committed when he filled out official documentation saying that he was not a drug addict when he purchased a gun. So Hunter has gotten off so many times it's not funny, and that's not just with the Russian prostitutes either.
Well, what about Hillary? I mean, we should all go after Hillary Clinton now too, for what she did.
But see, here's the deal. Why now? Why can't we just backdate shit? Now we can go after Bush, we can go after Clinton, we can go after William Jefferson and Hillary, and we can go after Joe Biden and Barack Obama.
Yeah, why not?
So why don't we set those dominoes in motion and just let's just clean the slate. Let's just get rid of all of them. Chuck Schumer, Adam Schiff, paid off a family because he had dalliances with their 11-year-old child. Don't know if you know about that little story.
That I don't.
NDA agreement. Family can't talk about anything that happened. He gave them millions of dollars so they would not speak up about the things that occurred in Chateau Marmont in Adam Schiff's room.
I wonder what happened in there.
Bad stuff.
Bad stuff. Bad.
Well,
stuff.
Well, and I think we know what Joe Biden's going to say about his son's legal troubles. Well, son of a bitch, they fired the prosecutor.
There you go.
Remember that one?
Yep.
Yeah, we do.
But the reason, like, you wonder why, like Hunter's not being investigated. They want to be like, well, Donald Trump was the cause of it. Let's all blame it on Donald Trump. But
exactly.
What I think is just so mind-boggling is, why do these people, keep giving Trump the time of day? Do they really just love letting Trump live rent-free in their heads? Because, and I like what Jester talked about a little earlier about, like, the news organizations and the newspapers that they really don't care about journalistic ethics and objectivity. They just are more interested in getting numbers on the board for their struggling journalists and talents, and turning people who otherwise have a benign appeal into partisan hacks. And to sound a little bit like Megyn Kelly, is the bosses at these places just really see dollar signs in their eyes with this never-ending coverage of Trump, because it is just dynamic, unpredictable, entertaining, and just absolutely ratings gold for them. And if this verdict in the unprecedented lawfare is any indication, we might as well just call it for what it is, that Trump is officially a martyr.
So, Eric, listen, let me break something down real quick. Right now, a lot of Americans are now getting their news, and this is crazy. I think I can't remember what this exact statistic is, but a lot of Americans now get their news from TikTok, of all places. Okay.
TikTok,
so,
Twitter X.
Right. So the news media outlets are no longer getting the views that they once did. Their ratings are declining due to the internet, due to social media. So when you have some of these people that say, well, we want to shut TikTok down, partially the reason is because TikTok is absorbing their funding, right? Like the money that they would make off ad revenue and they would make off their ratings, they're not making now because people are scrolling and getting their news from TikTok, and then they don't feel a need to go to, they don't feel a need to go to the TV or go to these internet websites or watch these stories. Because the other thing is too, with the influencers and the content creators that we have now, a lot of them are recycling these news stories. So you could follow a handful of guys on social media, get everything you need to know, and never once turn on that TV, never once go to CNN's website. You get what I'm saying?
Well, that is true, because, and I think what people don't realize about, like, the whole, like, legislation to get TikTok, permanently banned, who's to say they wouldn't go after Twitter X and Elon Musk next, or go after, like, the Rumble, or... Because, really what it is you've got, like Facebook parent company, Meta, that, like, really bankrolled that legislation, which, and the reason why, Meta or Facebook is a big player in that legislation to get TikTok banned is because they don't like how, like, TikTok is really also cut into their numbers, and they don't like how, like, Twitter X is also cut into their numbers too.
So I got off Facebook before TikTok came along, and then I got back on Facebook, right? And when I got off Facebook, there wasn't
Right.
Facebook Shorts. That was not a thing, right? You didn't have
Right.
video feeds on Facebook that you could just endlessly scroll before TikTok. So they're clearly trying to duplicate things to keep over there.
Yeah. Well, the Facebook and YouTube shorts are kind of like similar to like the kind of videos you'd find on TikTok, and you know they can be a little addicting at times. But I mean, like I do like have like a few other like favorite like influencers, like some who are like real conservative leaning, including our friend To a Patriot Mama, you know who we absolutely love and adore, you know, and she's a very like staunch advocate about raising awareness about the issue of child trafficking and exploitation, and TikTok has really come down very hard on her on multiple occasions, like you wouldn't believe. And then there are a couple other like influencers there who are kind of a little liberal leaning that I might not be a fan of their politics, but they sure are entertaining as fuck, including this one guy who goes by the handle name the Gray Canary.
Podfather just dropped the F-bomb.
Family-friendly show here, my gosh.
If you're playing the Beans and Weenie drinking game, Podfather dropped the F-bomb, so it's time to drink. Everybody take a big swig. Thank you, Podfather. Refreshing. All right.
Yes,
Chels, welcome into the show. Beautiful. Glad to see you here.
Shaky, shaky.
There you
So, Podfather, real quick to the points you're making, because they're all good points, and I got something I'd like to add, too, is that it's really funny to me how the internet is more regulated than the FCC regulates radio. There is things that are said that take place on the radio that the FCC does not shut down that you cannot get away with on social media, and I think that is wild.
Right.
Jester.
Well, like you got like the indecency ban. You can't have the 7 dirty words on TV.
Jester, the internet is not regulated by the FCC.
I know.
It is not. It is
I know
censored.
this. And what I'm saying is it is more regulated than the FCC regulates radio and TV.
I understand, and you are correct about that. But the federal government is trying to get their hands on the internet. They want to regulate the internet because they want to censor speech, and that's why they're sending all of those FBI agents and the CIA folks over to Meta and to Google in order to be able to implement censorship on the internet.
Don't forget about the post office police.
You know what?
Don't forget about the PP scooter.
No, I cannot forget about the people, but they're kind of going, they're being thrown under the bus, kind of like the Secret Service. They've been folded into Homeland Security, which is a bunch of crap. But no, I always think about my PP. I don't know what you're doing.
I don't know. My PP doesn't bother me, so I just leave it alone.
Well, that's when it's small, it doesn't bother you. But never mind.
No, when it gets big and it thinks it's hardcore, I beat the shit out of it.
Where's Mischief at when we need her? On that note, I'm going to say hello, Princess Kitty. Welcome over on Rumble and everybody on Facebook, Twitch. Well, we're not on Twitch, but we are on Twitter and Rumble and YouTube. Glad to see everybody here. Thank you guys.
God.
What?
You turned something
I
off.
finally got paid. I was waiting to get paid all week. I just got paid.
God, that's like a song. Just got paid today.
Just got paid, money in the bank. Okay.
That's not the song. Not the song. You're such a fucking kid.
I'm making up my own lyrics. You leave me alone.
ZZ
I'm just happy I have money now.
Just got paid today. Got a pocket full of change. Come on, man.
Nope.
You don't know that?
No, dude, I only listen to songs that have came out within the last 100 years, bro. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm just going to shut up then. Fuck you.
And I think other than people now getting their news and information nowadays from entities like your TikTok and your Twitter X, you've even got people getting their news and information from podcasts like this and some of the other independent content creators where we basically have a community on Podbean and some of the other places like Rumble and YouTube that are allowing us to be on their platforms until they eventually decide they want to kick us off again like jerks.
You know what's crazy is that I didn't think about that. Listen, I am one of those guys.
Wow.
Yes,
yeah.
So is James and so is Scooter.
Yeah, we are those guys. Holy shit. Way to put us on the spot there, Podfather.
Thanks, Podfather. All right, getting back to the world of DJT. What are you thinking there, Slightly?
No, I was just reading some comments made by Tucker Carlson. He earlier this afternoon. I don't know if he tweeted this out or what, but basically he says, "quote unquote," import the third world, become the third world. That's what we just saw. This won't stop Trump.
Yeah.
He'll win the election if he's not killed first. But it does mark the end of the fairest justice system in the world. Anyone who defends this verdict is a danger to you. And 1 second, I have to load this. To you and your family.
Hi, Donnie.
And I agree with that. 100%.
Well, so we are importing the third world. We're bringing in all the folks from Nicaragua, Venezuela, Guatemala.
What did I say earlier?
What did you say? What did you say? Say it again.
So we are becoming a third world country. It's here. It's now. It's happening.
It is. Maybe that's why Biden is importing all the illegal aliens, just to, kind of back it all up.
Nah, I can tell you exactly why he's importing the illegal aliens.
Why?
Do you guys want to know? It's kind of dark. Do you really want to know?
Tell me.
Why not? I mean, how worse can the day get?
Okay, here we go. For those of you that didn't know, you're about to know. All right, so I put this all together in my mind. I was talking to my boss about this at work. He's my sergeant. He was former military, wounded veteran, solid guy. Love the guy. He's a really good boss. Okay, so I'm sitting there. I'm talking to my sergeant, and we're having this conversation about it. And I look at my sergeant. I said, "Would you ever turn your guns on an American citizen if ordered to do so?" He said, "Absolutely fucking not." And I says, "Well, do you think an illegal immigrant would?" And his eyes just enlarged and got real big. And he's like, "Oh shit." And I said, "Yes, that's why. Because when push comes to shove, a U.S. soldier, an actual true blue American that bleeds red, white, and blue, will not turn guns on another citizen. But you know who will? Are the illegal immigrants. So if you simply wanted to take over this country, if you wanted to put Americans in camps, and if you wanted to round them up, you tell these illegals, we're going to grant you clemency. Basically, we're gonna grant you citizenship if you do what we say. And what we say is, you go round these people up, the problematic people. You go get them, and they will, because they didn't grow up here. They don't share the same values, the same morals. They don't know you. You don't know them. You are a stranger. Just like we would go fight overseas and tear people to shreds, they will do to us.
Let's take that just a step further, because, we've had all the mayhem on college campuses protesting for Palestinians and for freeing Gaza. So is there not a whole group of folks from about 26 down to 18 that would also willingly shoot their fellow citizen?
They would, but they have no military training. They have no they have no skill set in the realm of these things, right? I mean, I am more tactical. I'm no high speed guy, right? I did go to a paramilitary academy. I've worked in law enforcement for a while.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Just wanted to acknowledge that.
I'll tell you what.
Yes.
I think I stand a better chance than most when shit would actually hit the fan, if these things would start taking place and they would start going door to door. I think that my survival rate is probably a little bit better than average.
Right.
But you send one of these idiots from one of these colleges to my house, they're going to be dead before they step foot in the driveway.
But here's the thing. All you need is a warm body and a trigger finger.
I understand that, but there are things that are okay. So when we're doing our training, when we were doing training, you are broken down to nothing. You can't feel your fingertips. You can barely stand, and your brain doesn't brain anymore. And you develop this muscle memory that allows you to function.
Correct.
So after this, I came to realize, there's things you do without thinking about it. Like you block a punch without thinking about it. It's just instinctive at that point.
Right.
You say you're in a firefight. You are you work within your workspace like you're trained to do, and you don't take an eye off those crosshairs, but yet you all of a sudden know how to maintain your peripheral vision. There are things that you get just from experience and training that you do not get from protesting at colleges.
You're absolutely right. But the only thing you need from these people is to stand in front and pull the trigger. And all you have to do is fill them with the philosophical bent that they're doing it to free some poor oppressed group.
Okay.
So it's just, you know what? They may be fodder. You may just be sending them out to be killed, but all they've got to do is pull the trigger once or twice. And if they're standing at your front door and they're not trained, and they just start opening up as soon as your door opens, or when they hear you behind the front door, that's all it takes. Am I wrong?
Well, no, you're not wrong. I mean,
I love military tactics. I have a little bit of experience in that as well. But I also have a little bit of experience in psychological operations, which you can take somebody and you can ingrain in them to perform a task without them having the expertise to do it.
right. I mean, but it's a short-lived success rate.
But if you have, like the Chinese, 1 billion people, you can just send waves, and through attrition,
Right.
you can take over the objective.
Right. No. I understand what you're saying. I 100% agree with that. So I want to switch gears. Can we switch gears?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So
That was my gear switching,
we
if you didn't
totally
catch that.
strayed from the topic at hand here, which was Trump and what's going on.
Right.
And so I cover all this shit. I'm going to be covering all this shit on Doom Daily, but since we're here, we're going to cover it now. All right. So
if you can ever get the show to upload, people will be able to tune
right.
in.
If I can ever get it to fucking upload, you guys might have a new show tomorrow. Anyways,
blame the Trump verdict. That's all.
all right. So not the verdict, but a burning question that's probably on everybody's minds that nobody has an answer to. I got one for you.
Okay.
Can Trump still become president if he's in jail?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely, yes, 100%
Yes, he can.
And you know the thing is that is the weirdest question that I think anybody has ever asked themselves in 2024 is, can somebody be the president from a jail cell? And the answer is absolutely yes. They can set up the Oval Office within the prison. He can do everything, and he will have a secret service detail within the prison. This is all possible, ladies and gentlemen. It's not even improbable. It will happen. If he is elected president and then he is convicted to jail or a prison sentence, he can still maintain every single possible function from behind bars.
And you know what, Jester? After today, I really hope they do sentence him to prison. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
Slightly,
Yeah.
we've already talked about this. You and I went back and forth. You said there's no way in hell that they're going to convict Donald J. Trump.
And I was wrong, unfortunately.
On this flimsy bullshit, and I said yes, they will. He will come back. He will be guilty. They will assess him, adjudicate him as guilty. Now, on the 11th of July, they're going to go back into this dickwad's court in the state of New York, Marshawn, and he is going to pronounce sentence.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think he's going to pronounce for the sentence on each one of these 34 charges?
I believe, what is the max? 4 years in prison on each count?
I believe so.
Combined, the max is 20 years. He can't do more than 20.
No, he can.
More than that.
He can do more than
No,
20.
no, he can't. So the way the statute is written, basically it's 4 per individual, but with all of them combined, the max is 20 years.
But they will rewrite the statutes so that he will be...
okay, so they could do that.
Look, they rewrote the law in order to try him.
Right. So each one carries a max of 4 years, but the way the law is currently written, which I'm sure his attorneys would revert back to, is that, all of them combined is a max of 20 years. It cannot be more than 20 years.
I'm going to say he gets whatever the max is. If they come up with 500 years, they're going to give him the max.
Do you want me guys to tell you why they won't put him in prison? or why they won't send him to jail?
Well, hold
Guess
on.
you guys want to know?
Let me just share this from the comments because our hate speech filled WV Pappy, who I love dearly with all my
WB
heart.
Pappy's in here.
He
What's
is
up,
in
my
here.
dude?
He is in here, and he said he thinks they will give probation with travel restrictions to prevent Donald Trump from campaigning.
So that's very possible. House arrest would be very possible as well, because then he would be restricted to the state of New York and couldn't even go to DC to,
He doesn't
do
live
anything.
He doesn't live in New York. He lives in Florida.
Okay, so but that's still crimes took place within New York. They're trying him in New York. They could say, hey, you're bound to New York.
They could try to bind him. Here's the beautiful thing. I think everybody overlooks this fact. Number one, if he's elected and sworn in as the president of the United States, you know what he can do on his first day?
Let himself out of prison.
He can pardon himself.
No, he can't.
No, he can't. It's not a federal crime.
He can't. It's not a federal. If it was a federal crime, he could. It's a state crime. He cannot pardon himself.
Oh, you're right. You're right. So he would have to serve the time and be president. So that can't
But listen,
happen.
he won't go to jail, and I'm going to tell you why.
Okay, why?
Okay, so this is the reason why. So I work in the prison system, right? One of our biggest pain in the asses is in the prison system is visitor day. Okay, I'm not joking. It's one of our biggest pain in the asses.
All the
okay?
Kool-Aid
So,
that takes place, the exchanging, and
so the only time an inmate, where at least where I work, gets restrictions on visitations is if they have bad behavior, if they're in segregation, something like that would prevent them from receiving visitors.
right.
Do you know the kind of traffic jams you will have if Trump's in prison and it's visitor day? Do you know how many people are going to be showing up at the doors of the jail saying, hey, do you know how much extra resources the state is going to have to put in, or the county would have to put into regulating this amount of people? It would be a fucking nightmare and a fiasco. And not only that, most of these prisons are on state property, which the media can be at 24/7. There's no regulation for them.
Wait, hold on, Jester. You think New York City's going to give a shit how much taxpayer dollars they spend when they're giving millions of dollars to the fucking illegal aliens?
Oh, it's not the money, it's the staffing that they would need, and everybody's shorthanded.
Dude, they would go out and hire the illegal aliens to fucking they give them a condo, a brownstone, Manhattan.
Listen,
all they got to do is show up and do their job.
There's no good way to play that out. If you put that man in prison, he is now accessible to the general public via the form of being the visitation, right?
Yeah, but he'd be well protected.
I'm sorry, say it again.
He'll be well protected. He'll have
yeah. It's not the people.
And all of the prisoners are going to protect him. They're going to be their buddy now.
Oh yeah, absolutely, 100%. If Trump goes to prison, he doesn't have shit to worry about.
That's right. We're gonna get a murderer who's gonna become Secretary of State and fuck Hamas.
The only inmate that I would see that would cause him a problem would be an inmate or a prisoner that would decide they want to kill him to make a name for themselves.
Well, you're going to have people lining up to do that. You know that's going to happen.
It's a potential, it's a probability, but at the same time, I mean, if you're in there rubbing arms with somebody of that kind of power, why wouldn't you want to be on the good foot, be on their good side?
But okay. So if you had intellect and you had forethought and you had common sense, why are you in jail to begin with?
Well, okay. So if you're in jail, you haven't committed a serious enough crime to where you're going to be in there forever. Let's go there, unless you're awaiting trial because you did something heinous. And if that's the case, you're going to be in a different wing or block anyway. You're not going to be in the same general population as Trump would be. So, with that being said, I think that the people that they would surround him with are going to, well, actually, no, I take that back. He's not going to be intermingling with anybody because he would have a constant protection detail. Something I've been really curious about, and I cannot find an answer for, is I don't care who you are, even if you're the governor, you cannot bring a firearm within inside of the prison walls. You cannot do that. Secret Service guys are armed 24 hours a day.
Right.
How does this play out inside the prison walls?
It's a great question.
That's what I want to know.
Federal statute over the Secret Service supersedes states.
State, right?
Because that is
yes and no. It does, but it doesn't. So the reality is when it comes to, okay, we have federal laws that ban where firearms can go.
Right.
Okay, so a good example is you cannot bring a gun on an ambulance. It's a federal regulation.
Correct.
Okay, so
okay, well, how about if you use that? What if the president of the United States had to take an ambulance to the hospital? Wouldn't the Secret Service be on board with firearms?
Yep.
One would think, but it wouldn't be talked about.
But that would be breaking the law. You're not supposed to be able to carry a weapon into a psychiatric facility, but they have armed guards. Tell me how that works.
Well, yeah, that's the same thing. Well, because it's typically in that scenario, it's a psychiatric unit within a facility. So it's not like pretty much every hospital you've ever drove by has a psychiatric unit.
Right.
Okay. And there are potentially armed guards there guarding the hospital, because the hospital itself, the facility itself, is not a psychiatric facility, but they have a psychiatric unit. So it's interesting. There's a lot of weird loopholes, and there's a lot of gray areas within these things.
Right. And there's now, Pappy brings up a great question. So if the president happens to visit a facility, a federal prison or a state prison, and he has his Secret Service detail with him, do they carry inside the prison?
That was my question.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a very gray area. And I think that, okay, so I would say this much. If he is leaving the facility to go attend to any business or go to a court hearing or anything of the sort, he's going to have two armed details. Okay. He's going to have the Secret Service that's protecting him. And then he's going to have the COs or detention deputies that are also armed to make sure he doesn't get away. So you have two details there, one to kill him and one to protect him.
Okay, well, what about since he's been going to court? Don't you think the Secret Service has been going into the federal court buildings with guns?
They probably have to check him at the door.
I wouldn't think so. Nope.
I don't think so.
You can't
do that. I'll tell you this much. Working in the realm of law enforcement, if I would go to, say, trying to think of a place I went to where this has been a thing. If I would go to like Universal Studios, Disney Springs, places like this, there's actually a place I can go to, pull someone aside and say, hey, I need to check a firearm. And they have a lockup for me there where I can put that firearm in a box, lock it up with anything else I may need, and I will retrieve that firearm when I leave. So it's a thing. Like in our county jail, the prison I work at now, we have a lockup for firearms.
Right.
So if I have a deputy bringing in an inmate from court or wherever, and they're dropping them off, it's like we take their firearms, we lock them up. You go in, you do what you need to do. We give them back to you when you leave.
But Secret Service gets special dispensation.
See, the way our protocols are written at the prison I work at, they don't get anything. They're nothing. It's basically written down to the point of human soul. There's no jurisdiction that overrides that. So, and what's crazy is I'm the dickhead that's carrying the gun that says you can't take one in.
You're the dickhead that gets one right between the eyes.
Then again, are we going to have to worry about this? I mean, Joe Biden. I mean, Joe Biden already once wanted to assassinate President Trump when he allowed the FBI to use deadly force when they went to terrorize Mar-a-Lago.
Right.
So who's to say that Biden makes an executive order and strips President Trump of his Secret Service detail so he can possibly Epstein.
Maybe.
I think
So
this is where,
here's the thing to the Secret Service detail for the people that are wondering. That will not go away. It is standing. They cannot take that away from him. The only way the Secret Service detail can go away from Trump is if he himself denies it and doesn't want it. That's the only way to do that. Like him going to jail does not take that Secret Service detail away. It sticks and it goes with him.
And and I even had this thought: if Biden was going to try to do an executive order to strip Trump of his like Secret Service detail, then you would have like the Republican-controlled House leaders basically saying to Biden, "Not so fast."
I mean,
but that would be if you had Republican leadership who was smart enough to stand up to Biden and tell him not so fast.
I mean, like Pappy said, the Biden administration denied the RFK his Secret Service detail. That never happened in the past.
Nope, it never happened. All right, so the law that governs the Secret Service and their protectees is a federal law. It's Title 18 U.S. Code 3056. And it describes who gets protection, how they get protection. But it's been amended. And it's been amended such that the Secret Service now reports to, instead of the president or the executive office, they now report to the Homeland Security Department. So Mayorkas, the brilliant individual who's letting everybody come across the border, now has control over the Secret Service. So he, in effect, can override whatever it is that the Secret Service is supposed to do.
See, and I don't think that logically, I don't think anybody would actually take his detail away because it would be very detrimental. Unless they wanted him Epstein, like slightly.
That would be a national security issue.
If we want to speak logically, Jester, this court case would have never happened.
None of the court cases would have happened.
Damn it! Listen, slightly. You can't use rational thinking here, bro. It doesn't work in today's society. I'm sorry. Don't do that.
I have some breaking news that that piece of shit Michael Cohen.
Yes.
He's come out on X and he said today is an important day for accountability and the rule of law. While it has been a difficult journey for me and my family, coming from the guy who extorted fucking thousands of dollars from Trump, the truth always matters. The truth that he never speaks because he always lies. Anyways, he went on to say, I want to thank my attorneys for her invaluable guidance and support throughout the process. So there you go.
He was bopping his attorney.
Did he have to pay her off so she didn't say anything?
He was bopping her. They signed an NDA agreement with that 60 grand that he stole from Trump because he didn't think that his Christmas bonus was enough.
Now, is he going to be indicted now for grand larceny?
Should be. When is Bragg filing those charges against Cohen?
Yeah.
Statute of limitations is still in effect. I mean, I think that goes about 10 years.
Yeah, it should be.
So,
on it.
Yeah, he'll walk.
What a shit.
He'll walk away. Oh my gosh. Everybody in the chat is doing such a wonderful freaking job here. Pappy, you are on top of it. I mean, he already pointed out RFK's Secret Service detail never happened. And that's something that's never occurred before.
Jester, do you think this guilty verdict just will increase people's wanting to vote for Trump? Does this
okay, so here's where I'm at with it. I personally think that it will. And there's some reasons why. The first reason is anybody that has a pulse in at least 2 brain cells can figure out that this man is now the underdog in being bullied to shit, and our society has trained us to root for the underdog, right? So with that, I think that yes, it's you're going to have mass amounts of support for this man. The other thing I kind of think is that everybody's also watching the country go to shit under our current administration. You're watching gas prices rise, food prices rise. The cost of living increases are not keeping up with the cost of living. People are working 2 jobs. They're tired. They're sick of this shit. And I think that they're ready to stand up and start voicing their opinion. And the one shining light at the end of the tunnel that they thought was going to fix everything has now been convicted of 34 felony charges?
34.
I think people will start saying something.
I would think.
Is the country going to be set afire? How long do you think people will allow this to continue? Because the bottom line is, if they can do this to Trump, they can do it to anybody, and they will. They've proven that, fuck you, if you don't agree with this, we're coming for you and we're going to take you down.
Yep.
I mean, is New York going to start implementing jury instructions for murders that you only need a couple jurors to say that they're guilty of committing murder to convict somebody?
That's it. You only need 4 people to agree to acquit them.
Yeah.
Isn't that what it's going to be?
I think so.
Okay. But to go back to something that Jester was talking about, being made a martyr, being the underdog, look at this. When they came out with the verdict of guilty, Trump's donation website crashed.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
Because people support this man. You don't have to like his tweets. You don't have to like that he speaks like a man in the locker room on occasions. But you do have to agree that he got the job done. And he did pretty good for the United States. And look at the shape we're in right now. As Jester has so wonderfully and eloquently detailed, the fact that you can't afford your groceries, you can't afford your gas, you've got to get 2 jobs just to survive. We didn't have to do that with Trump. I didn't have to do it.
No, me either. I didn't have to work 12 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Yep.
So I'll tell you what. So to be totally, candid,
Yes.
I have had better work and have had better money under this current administration.
Ooh.
Okay. Now, let me say that. But with that, I've also never been in a position in my life before where I've had no mortgage or no rent. So if I had mortgage or I had rent right now, I would be in the shitter financially. Okay. Because at least half of what I make per month would go back to living expenses.
Okay, but now
at least half.
Let's just do a quick comparison. Okay, so what industries do you work in right now?
Right now, I work in law enforcement via the prison system,
right?
And I also am a first responder, and I work in the realm of EMS.
Okay, so business is booming because people are fucking doing stupid shit.
Oh, you wouldn't believe, Scooter, man, I got to pull you aside when I know you can't record me. Holy shit, the things I could tell you.
Exactly. But, okay, so your business, your industry is booming.
Yes.
But you know whose industry is not booming? The everyday workaday people out there who are getting the job done, that keep the economy going, who are making that wonderful, let's see here. And remember, be sure to go to linktree.com/JesterDooms. Check on Prep Stock because they're going to be giving away all kinds of stuff. Ooh, look.
You're going to be needing that stuff.
It's got a hole in it. It's kind of cool. So, the people at ReadyWise, you think they're doing pretty good right now?
Oh yeah, they're doing fantastic.
Because why is that?
Well, because everybody's buying survival food right now.
Exactly.
That's what it is.
This food will last for up to 10 years? In this
25 years on the high end stuff.
I don't know if I'd go that far, but anyway, 25. So people are doing this. But you know who's not making a good living? Farmers. Cattlemen.
No, they're not. In fact, they're kind of under a lot of scrutiny, and they're under the gun too.
Yes, they are. And so this is not a good economy. I think you can look out there, and I think you can look at, if you have a 401k, you can look at it and you can say, what the fuck is going on? I mean, I have investments. My investments are not doing as well now as what they were doing.
Oh, come on, Scooter. It's a great economy. Haven't you seen?
The mortgage system, the mortgage industry is about to collapse. Right now, we're at 8.25% interest for mortgages, and it's going up.
Yeah.
Okay, so that means money's harder to come by. So the average person can't actually afford a mortgage. So they can't buy a house. They have to pay rent. Rent is going through the roof. Then you gotta add in all those increases with your grocery bill, the gasoline to get you around to your job at Home Depot, and then over to your other job at McDonald's where you're going to make $20 an hour, but they're going to cut you loose because now they've got an automated ordering system and you're no longer needed. So now you've got to go find another second job. Where are you going to go get that job at? Just curious.
You just really brought up something very interesting, Scooter, about people not buying and owning homes anymore because like here in Atlanta, for example, like over around neighborhoods like Chamblee and Brookhaven.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and I'm sure even my friend Arch could probably could confirm this, that I've drove through some like residential areas where I've seen like little like cottage style houses or houses that have been around since like the 1940s and 1950s, give or take a few years or decades. You got these foreign and out of state investors coming in and buying up these properties because the land is probably more valuable than the actual house itself. And what they're doing with like these small houses and these small plots of land, they're tearing these houses down and building like ginormous houses on these small plots of land called McMansions. And I know of like somebody who lived on a street not very far from the DeKalb Peachtree Airport, and I'm not trying to dox anybody, because that's not my intention. And I drove by this place one day. I was like, where'd it go? And I know of somebody that lives there. Of course, he's a liberal. He doesn't even know that I'm an independent who voted for Trump, and I plan on keeping it that way for now. And I think the cottage house that him and his partner were renting, I would think, if it was still standing, would probably be like maybe like a little under $200,000, and the McMansion that replaced it sold for like $1.7 million.
Shit is getting crazy, Podfather, and I happen to know about the real estate over there in your part of the world. I actually have a youngster.
And you're probably seeing it in Tulsa and Oklahoma City and a couple other places. I'm sure James is probably seeing it in like Vegas and Henderson, and I'm sure Miss Dixie probably sees it around like Cincinnati where she's at.
Exactly.
Hi,
exactly. Frankie D. Titties to you, my brother. Titties to you.
Titties, Frankie D. Titties.
That's it. But no.
Say it, Podfather. Titties.
Come on, Podfather.
Titties, Frankie D.
Woo!
Wait for it. Like, calm down,
drink.
Eric.
Easy now, big fella. Easy now. But Lord, the country is going to hell in a handbasket. I don't know what to tell you.
Where do we go from here?
But they're like, okay, so let's continue on the Trump thing. He's got 30 days to appeal this verdict.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Absolutely.
he's got 30 days, which is very convenient because it puts it right around his GOP nomination time.
Right.
Right. So basically, the long and the short of it is this has been set up to totally fuck with the campaign.
Of course, it's all politically motivated.
It is.
All right. So I believe it's is it July
11th.
Okay. So and when is the July 11th is okay. Hold on. Let me back up. He's got 30 days to appeal this.
July 15th is when he'll accept the nomination for the Republican Party.
Okay, and he's got 30 days to appeal this. So what this basically does is, if he appeals it, which his attorneys will right away, guarantee you wake up tomorrow morning to news stories that say that he has filed an appeal. Mm-hmm. Okay, if you don't see those, I'd be shocked. All right. So when this happens, what you're going to end up seeing is him putting more effort into this and less effort into the campaign, which is ultimately what they want.
But here's the deal. he is not going to have to place that much effort into the appeal because he has a team of very wise individuals who will write those briefs for the appeal, file them, and argue them in the appeals court.
Well,
So-
here's the thing. This would be his best play.
Yep.
If I was in Trump's shoes, this is what I would do. I'd file the appeal. And anytime there's a court hearing scheduled, I would file a continuance. And I would do this till after the election, which is now that not that far away. I would continuously file continuances. All right. And I would do this in hopes that we would gain the presidency before the appeals trial, before the appeals hearing. Because he's got 30 days to file. I don't know off the top of my head how much time he has to actually, how many appeal or how many continuances he could file. It's almost indefinite how you can do those. Those can go on for years.
I don't think once he files for the appeal, I don't think we're going to see an appeal trial at least for 6 months.
And if I was Trump, if I was in his shoes, under the appeal, I would request that there's national media coverage in that courtroom.
I think there should
absolutely.
be. There's still
and I think another thing that hopefully Trump and his legal team will point out is in the appeal process is the judge having an apparent conflict of interest because the judge's daughter being an employee of a big name like consulting or law firm that has names like Kamala Harris and Adam Schiff as big clients.
Yeah, his daughter's directly involved in the Biden-Harris campaign.
Right. But
I mean that is the biggest if there was ever an example of a conflict of interest, Podfather, I think that's it.
What I would like to see
Because
Trump do,
that conflict of interest should have prompted an automatic mistrial.
Right, Eric, and I'm glad you brought that up because that was going to be something I wanted to talk about too. Was the idea that,
and you'll mention it on Doom Daily, I'm sure you will.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely. But yeah, I mean, Eric, dude, think about this for a second. This man, we're all in communication with our kids, right, for the most part, and you're in communication with your family every day, typically. Yeah. All right, you check in, you see how things are doing.
Or every other day.
Blah blah blah. So this daughter's talking to her father, that's overseeing this case and making decisions. All right. Do you think there's no influence there? If you don't, you're crazy. There's absolutely an influence there. There's absolutely a conflict of interest there. 100%.
Yeah.
Well, and it's like the conflict of interest is being legalized before our very eyes.
Yes, I agree with that. Yes, 100%.
What Trump should do, though, which he's not going to, he should kind of do things like the illegal aliens. Just don't show up to the court trial, to the sentencing case, and just go campaign.
Nah, dude, I want to see I want to see him pull a Hunter Biden and show up at the fucking steps of the courthouse and be like, I ain't going in there, and then leave.
Exactly. Give a long speech about why he's not. This is a sham. This is a huge travesty of justice. I ain't gonna set foot. But here's a
I gotta
question.
learn how to do a good Trump voice.
You do. You got to work on that.
I'll practice it while I'm at work.
Okay. Just talk.
Well, our favorite Trump saying is China.
Well, here's the thing: when you're speaking to the other officers, or when you're helping a victim, you got to work on the Trump. That's a huge gash you got there. That looks like it's pretty bad, but I'm going to fix you right up. You're going to be perfect, 100% perfect.
100% perfect. It's not that huge. No, it's huge. What am I saying?
It's huge.
It's amazing.
It's
this wound in your leg. I can't do it. I got to work on the Trump voice.
That's right. It's a big, beautiful wound, but I'm gonna take care of it. You're gonna be just like brand new. You're not even gonna lose the leg.
It's gonna be better than ever before.
Exactly.
You're gonna be able to walk on that leg again.
You fucking sound like you're from Jersey. You're gonna fucking walk on the leg. It's gonna be great. Yeah.
You're gonna walk on the leg. It's gonna be great. I'm telling you. We're gonna stitch you right up. We're gonna get you right as rain. No fucking problem.
And if that don't work, I'm gonna get Paulie over here. He's gonna crack your walnuts. You're gonna be fine. Don't even give it another thought.
Don't even worry about it. Have you had fentanyl before? Because we can hook you up.
Forget about it. What are you talking? Forget about it. I got you covered.
Oh
Anyway.
God. No. Anyway, no. But so here's the thing.
Yes.
To backpedal a little bit into what we were talking about here. I truly 100% think that this man will get the presidency. Okay.
Yep.
I don't think he'll do a day in jail or prison. I do think that he might face some probationary things. I do think that he might face some house arrest things. That's if the appeal doesn't go well. And I think what he needs to do is file that appeal in a way to where he can get continuances, he can have national media coverage in that courtroom, and he could gain the presidency and then go in there and fight as the president for his freedom. Because by God, America.
Now, my question is because this is the New York judicial system, all right?
So fuck New York.
Fuck New York. Fuck
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Fuck you, New York.
I mean, I'm from outside of
Hey,
Pittsburgh
guys.
originally, so I could say fuck New York.
But my question is,
Hey.
okay, just like the other court systems in the appeals process, the appellate courts, can they summarily deny to hear the appeal? Can they just say, no, fuck you, you filed the brief, we're not going to hear it, and too bad, serve your sentence?
Well, then it would go.
Yes, they can do that. But so what Trump can do, and this might be in his best interest also, if they deny the appeal, he could take it to a higher level of court.
Right.
And eventually it
absolutely.
could reach the Supreme Court. I don't know if this particular case could. Because I mean, what happens with the appeals is if one court denies it, you go up the chain,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
That's how that works. So if it does make it to the Supreme Court level,
Yeah.
I don't know if that. I'm like trying to think in my head, like the current justices, stuff like that. Would it be good or bad? You know, if it did reach that level, I don't think that it would. But could you imagine the president of the United States taking it to the Supreme Court when he has the power to appoint and take away justices? Could you imagine that shit? Wow, we're in for a show.
That could be interesting. But see, the thing is, so on the federal bench, the judges have to be confirmed by the Senate. The president makes the nomination. The nomination is heard in the judicial panel for the Senate, and then they vote on up or down vote, yes or no, confirm them to the bench or deny them the position of judge.
Well, okay, Trump okay, correct me if I'm wrong. Trump put one justice in there,
No,
right?
he put three.
Three. Okay, so
He got three in
Scalia
there.
died, and that was the first one he replaced, right?
Right.
Okay, and then there was two more. There was what the fuck? That one woman. I can't
Um,
remember her name.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Amy Coney Barrett replaced because Ruth Bader Ginsburg died. It was Amy Coney Barrett. Then Kennedy retired, and they got Brett Kavanaugh in, and that was a real shit show. And then Antonin Scalia died, but the Senate stalled on Obama, appointing Merrick Garland, so Trump got to appoint Neil Gorsuch.
Right. Okay. So how many justices do we have on the Supreme Court that are for Trump?
There's 9 total.
Well, there's 9 total.
6 of them are
Currently, well, Roberts, he's a fucking panty waist, middle of the road jerk. There are 5. There are 5 that lean conservative.
Okay. So it's if it did get to the Supreme Court level, we have the majority.
Yes.
Okay. So could you imagine that show?
I think it'd be great.
It absolutely would be great. 100%.
But first, he's got to go through the appellate system in the state of New York. It has to wind its way to the Supreme Court for the state of New York, and these jagoffs,
fucking jagoffs.
fucking jagoffs. I tell you what,
You're
these
fucking jagoffs.
So this
Anyway.
Judge Merchan should be disbarred for his actions in this case.
Well, Elise Stefanik has written to the New York bar. Now, you know who Elise Stefanik is. If you do not, she is a representative from
She's a member of Congress.
State of New York. So she has standing. She has written to the New York bar, and she is an attorney. And she has brought these issues to light about Juan Marchand. So hopefully nothing. Well, hopefully something would happen. But nothing's going to happen because the good old boy system in the Democratic state of New York is firmly entrenched. And fuck that, they're not going to do anything to him. I'd like to see it, but it ain't going to happen.
Yep.
I have so many things going through my mind. It's good that I don't talk about them.
Yes, do not.
Well, we know what your favorite saying is, James, that more than half your life is already long gone.
Thank God. Yes.
Do not let those violent thoughts air in this public forum. Oh, fuck. We lost Jester. He left us. Well,
he left us.
I think that's a good time to wind this down. I think we have covered.
He had to go take care of something, it looks like.
Is that what it is?
Because I know he did like the pointer finger, meaning he'll be right back.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, no, I think we need to start winding this down because there is so much more to play out in this soap opera that New York has created, and it's being played out in Miami with the documents trial, and in Atlanta. Which will make for an interesting show trial.
Well, then, Fonnie Willis and other Soros-funded DAs are all been out of shape about Georgia pushing and passing that new, DA oversight, committee thing.
Yes,
that should really be interesting.
We talked about that last week. Fannie Willis is upset because Big Brother's looking over her shoulder, and it's racist.
Yeah.
It is.
Oh yeah, and
all racist.
And then she ironically won her re-election bid for like the DA position, and of course Loverboy Nathan Wade showed up at her little campaign event, which how embarrassing is that?
No, he had to pat her on the ass. I mean, hell, he likes that for some reason.
Well, I can only hope, God willing, that Nathan Wade's wife, is laughing all the way to the bank on this one.
Exactly.
Because I hope he really takes Nathan and Fonnie to the cleaners.
Well, there you go. Fannie paid him $1 million, and I hope she gets the brunt of that. Now, WV Pappy is starting trouble in the chat, and I happen to agree with him. He says boycott all New York businesses and tourism.
Yeah, don't go to New York.
Yeah, and don't deal with New York companies.
Not at all.
And you know what?
Hey, Sean Hannity moved out of New York finally.
Yep. Sean's gone. And Fox will probably be leaving there pretty soon. But here's the deal. There's a lot of corporations that have their headquarters in New York that you deal with on a daily basis. Your cell phones. They have AT&T is headquartered in New York now. Used to be a Dallas, Texas company, but now it's in New York. Why the fuck they moved there? No idea. I guess they wanted to pay more taxes. They like it.
Yeah, they like paying taxes.
All right. Shells, we love you too. You take care.
Well,
go pick up the kids. Jester, anything on your mind as we get ready to wind this show down, sir?
Well, there was two things. First thing is that AT&T is the preferred brand of first responders because they have what's called like First Connect or some shit like that, to where if cell towers go down, they prioritize first responder numbers. So that's that. So a lot of our first responders are running on AT&T.
Right.
Second thing is I'm on T-Mobile and we're out of Germany. That's where our headquarters is. So right there in New York.
Yeah, New York. I got you covered right there.
I like the question that Frankie D just asked in chat. Where will Fox go to? I would just say with Fox at this point that news organization is no longer fair and balanced like they claimed to once be. But
Fox
I think,
is bullshit.
What's that?
Fox is bullshit.
Yeah.
But so same with CNN and MSLSD. But now you even see a new news organization that is like up and coming called News Nation, which is based out of Chicago, and their parent company, Nexstar Media Group, is based out of Irvine, Texas.
So I'll tell you what, guys. For me, and I'm not a spokesman for these guys. I'm not an affiliate. I'm not anything related to them. But I For those of you guys that are out there, I pay like $1 a year, something like that, for Epic Times, and I absolutely love the Epic Times. They have live shit that runs.
I bet
There
that's a
is
good
no
one.
bullshit. I don't make any money or anything off promoting them. It's simply just good.
Hey,
I back that. I like Epic Times.
Epic
Yeah.
Times is I enjoy it.
Yeah, and what's interesting in for me in the realm of the other stuff that I do is so somehow the Epic Times, I'm trying to think how I could say this in a way that actually makes sense. So there's like a weird third party circle. So if you guys have never heard of the United Spot, the United Spot does parody videos of everything that's taken place within our administration. You've probably watched some of the United Spot's content, not even realized it. Well, the United Spot gave its Doomsday podcast permission to use all of their content, anything that they do, audio clips, videos, everything. They've given me full on permission.
Who's
Now,
this?
the United Spot.
Nice.
Yeah, so they've done that, and not only that, but even they're entangled with the Epic Times. So there's like this weird three-way that we got going on that I, yeah, it's hot. That I really didn't know that was happening. But anyway, so long and the short is, guys, the Epic Times isn't just covering your political bullshit. They're covering global news. They're even covering the insignificant, like small stuff, like, police officer gets granted award for saving child from getting ran over by bus, like the small stuff that nobody else is covering. They're doing it all. And the subscription for this is like $1 a year. It was when I signed up. So if you're looking for that new news organization, this might be the one for you. That's all.
Bingo.
There you go.
I like it, even though they are sort of semi-attached to CCP.
Well, you know what?
Yeah. But
How are they attached to the CCP?
Epic?
Yeah.
You don't know who the owner of Epic News is?
Well, and
I don't know, because
You need to look into
you said that, and I'm thinking in my head, like, I read a lot of their stories, and they talk shit on the CCP all the time.
They do.
That's what I was like, what?
They do talk shit, but they have people, because the guy that started Epic Up is from China. He was
Yeah.
a part of the CCP.
Maybe he's like maybe he's the Trump of China.
Well, he left China though.
He did.
Yeah, see, Scooter, damn it.
He's in what, Connecticut or where the fuck?
Yeah,
is
he's in the United States somewhere, but
Yeah.
he had to get out of China because they wouldn't allow his type of news.
Well, and his religion as well,
Yep.
because they started cracking down on it. He didn't go with the state-sponsored religion. He was going with I forget what they call the practice, but it's kind of in between Buddhism and Uyghur Muslim shit.
Either way, dude, it sounds like he's got an epic story.
That's what it. That's exactly. That's exactly why.
well, and and another thing I would mention about like companies needing to move out of New York, like we know, like CNN, for example, decided to move out of their CNN Center building in downtown Atlanta, but their Atlanta operations got moved to like Turner Broadcasting in Midtown. So I'm kind of wondering if CNN's going to wind up regretting that decision.
I think CNN regrets a lot of the decisions that they've made, but I'm just checking the beautiful companies that are headquartered in New York, and so far CNN only has a affiliate office in New York City. They haven't relocated there yet.
But and I know most of the, like, it's almost like their Atlanta headquarters has just been like decimated, and you can thank Jeff Zucker for that.
Well, exactly. And hopefully, Frankie D, I hope you read in the comments where I thought that News Corp was going to be moving to, because I did say that I thought that Fox News would be leaving the Big Apple. And I believe the family, now that the big guy is no longer involved with News Corp and the kids took it over, I believe that'll be going back to Los Angeles.
Yeah, probably.
Yep. So,
well, I don't know. As we wind things down, there's a couple things I want to bring up.
Yep.
Like I said, my mind's still trying to grasp
Slightly. Are you coming out of the closet, bro? Because if you are, I support you.
I do too. Slightly, we love you. You can say
We
it.
love you.
We love you, buddy.
Oh my
You can say it.
God. So today will be remembered as probably the darkest day in America for a long time. With the justice system going down the shitter, we have a presidential candidate that's being politically assaulted, gagged and bound, and everything else that you want to throw at it. And I think there's millions of Americans in this country that are probably feeling very, very similar as to I am. And what you've seen on tonight's show is nothing as far as the rage that's inside. But I think everyone needs. I'm being 100% serious here. But I think
Well,
everybody needs to know and do is when it comes to November, you get out there and fucking take care of business. You got to make sure that you save this country. Otherwise,
can't be complacent.
Otherwise, I don't know what to tell you. It's a country, and I've been thinking about it. Wait till the day that the baby boomers are no longer around, and with all of the young idiots popping up, and you see what they're fucking acting like rats and pigs, and think they're cats, and want to get on all fours and eat their fucking breakfast or lunch at their schools. You think it's bad now? Wait till that generation is gone, and then you'll really see how bad it's going to be. That's what I worry about. You
Wait
laugh.
till
You laugh.
No, because
wait, slightly. Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Wait till the generation that's shitting in a box is running the fucking country.
Well, they're not too far off from what we currently have.
I know.
I
Well,
think
they give Biden cocaine ice cream and he shits his pants. So there you go.
There you go. I think those folks are running the country, and we just don't know it because they're behind the scenes controlling. They've got their hand up Biden's ass to try and stop the shit from coming out, so they can get him to say whatever it is they want. But no.
But I honestly think that today just marks another day that we're closer and closer to those two words.
I'm just curious. Are we going to have a summer of love? Are we going to have fun from the conservative side of the world?
You know, I've been.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk over anybody. Am I good?
You're good.
Can I speak? Okay. So I've been literally, a thought has been crossing my mind almost on the daily now with everything that we're thinking. And the thought has been, would I stop everything I'm doing and go fight on the front lines? Because I think that is what's coming. And I think the answer is an overwhelming yes for me. Even though I have a family, even though I have kids, and everything else that's going on, I think I would go fight on the front lines as a first responder and as an offensive force as well, in order to ensure somebody is down there fighting for my family.
Bingo.
Yep.
So I think that's coming. If I was called upon for action to secure this nation, I think I absolutely would, 100%.
I think it's going to occur, and I don't think it's going to be a formal call. I think it's going to be a gradual grassroots uprising because we're getting tired of this. We're getting fucked over. It's just
we are every day.
Yeah,
I mean, it's bad enough people are already barely able to survive. They're barely able to pay for their grocery bills. They're barely able to pay for their housing,
their medicine.
Yeah. I mean, so what do people have to lose by taking it out to the streets?
They don't have shit to lose. They have everything to gain because there will be incentives for the people that are fighting against the good people.
Yeah.
Well, when you got nothing to lose.
There you go. Podfather, anything else before we close this sucker down?
Well, this has certainly been a great show, gentlemen. But of course, I know we look forward to hopefully doing this again next week, God willing. We're all still here, and hopefully everybody had a great Memorial Day weekend, of course.
Yep, we appreciate that. Now, before we wrap this up, be sure to go out there and look for, see, if that golden egg has been laid on the Doom Daily Show on Podbean, Spotify, wherever you get your downloads. Hopefully that will take place. Also, if you're out and about Saturday evenings about 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, be sure to tune in and check out The Beans and Weenie Show is Doomed with the lovely and talented and hopefully back Spanky, Slightly, Jester, and myself for some mayhem, mirth, and some... Who's laughing at me? What the fuck, Podfather? Mute yourself. Don't laugh at me. What the fuck are you doing? Titties to you.
Hopefully we'll have...
Have a fucking oyster. Sit down. I love you.
Listen, he just saw a picture of Spanky's
Crazy
wiener
and
for the
Crush
first
Cup,
time, and he's over there chuckling.
That's right. We will, on Saturday night, we'll announce the winner of Crazy Town Trivia, and sponsored by Mayor Crazy and Crazy Town, and also...
Don't forget Club Code Blue.
Yeah, fuck Club Code Blue. That's Spanky shit. I don't care. If he's not here, I ain't gonna fucking... Fuck him. Fuck you, you one-legged fucker.
None of you asked me about my name tonight, and I was waiting for it to come up on the show.
We actually, Slightly
we
and
did
I...
Before the show started, we did.
But might have been when I couldn't hear you guys. Did you guys figure out what the FS was for?
We don't care.
So for those of you that are listening, I came into tonight's show under Spanky's F.S.
What is that?
And what it was the FS stands for Spanky's foreskin.
Oh,
Long and forgotten. See, I was trying to bring something old back, and you fuckers didn't get it.
My goodness.
Well, he wears it on his toe, and his toe is now gone. So why do we even care about that?
Because I was gone for so long, and now I'm back. That was the whole thing. Man, you guys, man, I was trying to leave breadcrumbs and shit.
Whatever.
we're slow.
Well, you know what? We all have we have so much going through our brains. It's hard to comprehend the wonderful little nuances that you bring to the show, Jester.
I try, and I guess nobody's thinking about Spanky's foreskin. Poor Spanky's foreskin.
On my mind.
No,
Bless his heart.
Spanky's got enough problems of his own. And for those of you watching out there, remember the score of tonight's game was 34-0. It's right up there. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. That's we love what we're doing, but it helps out immensely. If you will
And share to your friends.
Well,
make sure you share the show.
Exactly.
Yes.
Share it to your enemies.
And
Share it to here's your takeaway for the night, all of you folks. Find one liberal Democrat and share this motherfucker to them.
Oh God. We're gonna get shut down.
Share it to them.
well, and
yes, Podfather, go ahead.
and I would even add this as a little bit of flavor, like in honor, of course, of an educational show like Sesame Street that used to be so great but has become unwatchable.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, our word of the night is martyrdom, because Trump just earned that title as political martyr because of the lawfare that was thrown at him, like I mentioned earlier.
And that's it.
I can agree with that.
We got no more. That's it. Love y'all.
Well, I know it's time to start heading on out of here.
I got one more before we go. Let the music roll.
What's that?
This is James from the Slightly Serious Show. And
What came
Slightly
first,
Doom
the
Show.
orange
And I wanna
color
thank you
or
for
the
tuning in and
orange, the
listening.
fruit?
Be sure to join me and Scooter on Wednesday evenings at 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 8:30 Central on our live stream conversation. I know I'm trying to talk. Check out our linktree.com/BWD crew for details on where to find the show. And remember, you are free to disagree, but don't ever stop the conversation. And if it's not serious, we probably aren't talking about it.
Okay, so what came first? The orange color or the fruit?
I have no idea because I don't know. I was just asking. Maybe you guys knew.
Jester's drunk. Don't pay attention to him. He's
and,
drunk.
and of course, the idea you gave of like sharing this to a liberal, like hopefully that liberal does not wind up excommunicating their friends.
There you go. We love y'all. Have a great night. We'll see you again Saturday. Bye-bye. Bye.
See you around Podbean.
Bye.
The fruit came first.
I told you.
Because somebody had to
Are we-
name it.
Are we off the air over there?
We are clear. We are